told you guys before that I was an industrial engineer, and so we're going to do some math today. And not the complicated calculus derivative type of math. We're going to do some basic, honest math about what the cost of waiting to purchase property is really costing you. Because commercial real estate is a compounding asset. So the longer you own it, the more that it does for you year over year. So things like the tenant income, the equity, appreciation, depreciation, all those things really stack on each other the longer that you own a property. So that means every year that you don't own a property is doing none of those things for you. So if you're approaching 60 and you've been looking on the sidelines, waiting for the rates to change, for the market to shift, for the timing to be right, then this is for you. I'm gonna show you what the actual math looks like while you are waiting and what you are missing out on while you continue to wait. And then that way you can make a decision based on information and not just on instincts. So let's do a quick example to put some things into perspective. So let's say we have a property here in Houston that is valued at $1.2 million and it has a 7% cap rate. And so from those two numbers, we can work backwards and calculate what our net operating income or our NOI is. And I have several videos that break down all of these numbers, so make sure you go back and check those out. But so in this case, the NOI would be $84,000. So that means on this property, sitting out just 1 year is costing you $84,000 in income. Let's talk about equity now. So if you had put 25% down, that's about $300,000 for this property, and you have tenants paying down your principal every month, that's about $18,000 to $22,000 in equity a year that you are not accumulating. Now for the depreciation benefit, commercial real estate depreciates over 39 years starting from the time that you own it. So at the $1.2 million price, we end up with about $30,000 in annual depreciation that could be going on your taxes to be written off. So for appreciation, we'll go on the conservative side and we'll put that at about 3% based on kind of what we've seen historically. But that puts you at $36,000, and it's not guaranteed, but it's also not uncommon. So if we look at the real 2-year cost, that's $168,000 in income, that's $40,000 in equity bill, and that's $60,000 in uncaptured tax benefits and appreciation. And so that puts you at over $250,000 that you didn't materialize because you decided to wait. And it's one thing to wait because you are getting your financings in order, right? So you're making money, you're saving it, you're putting things aside, you're structuring your business a certain way. But it's a whole different story for you to be waiting just because you are scared or afraid to take the next step. Now back to the topic of age, because even a 10-year hold on a commercial real estate property still has all these same benefits. And what I typically find is that the older my clients are, the more qualified they are, the more sure they are about what they want, and the more committed they are to actually getting it right. And don't fall for the trap or convince yourself that you should just wait until you retire and then you can start your commercial real estate purchase and your journey there. Because there are a lot of benefits that come along from having a W-2 position, especially around the tax situation here. Another benefit of even that 10-year hold is being able to pass down property through your estate plan that has equity already built into it. Now let's take our example from before even further and really bring home why commercial real estate is the way to go when it comes to investing. So we calculated about $250,000 over 2 years in unmaterialized benefits of purchasing this property. And $168,000 of that was strictly off of the income that was coming in from the tenants. And for that property, you put in $300,000 or that 25% of the purchase price. Now, if you take that same $300,000 and put it into some type of a savings account, let's say it gives you a 4% return on it over 2 years, that's a little over $24,000. So comparing even the $24,000 to the $168,000 in income, that's a big difference and really shows what commercial real estate can do for you and why it is a better leveraged investment than some of these traditional options. So if this video has resonated with you and you are tired of sitting on the sidelines, letting year after year after year go by where you are not accumulating some of the benefits that surround commercial real estate, then it's time to book a one-on-one call with me. What we'll do in that call is go over your goals. We'll talk about some asset classes and we'll run some actual numbers to make sure that everything is in alignment. And then we'll create a plan to get you to the next step. So the link is in the description to be able to do that. My name is Lexi Sims. I'm a commercial real estate advisor here in Houston, Texas. I'll see you guys in the next video.